Good morning, Instagram. Welcome back. Today is a beautiful brand new Monday, and it means it's a new beginning to a endless plethora of opportunities for this week. That's how we're going to start today off. So, today is going to be a yoga flow dedicated to breath. I'm going to be working on a lot of forward folds. If you have a block, a bolster, or strap, please go ahead and grab that. And let's head down to our mat. All right. Getting started today in your easy pose. However you find that, whether you're sitting with your legs crossed on your knees, or just sitting upright on your tailbone, placing your hands on your knees, palms down for grounding, or palms up for energy and vitality. With a nice deep inhale, bringing your shoulders up your back, and exhaling them down, letting them soften. Inhale for height, and exhale, soften. Inhale your breath all the way down to your belly, and exhale, soften. Inhale. Slowly letting your hands drift down to the floor, letting them sit there for one breath. With your next inhale, breathing those arms up and overhead, bringing them to prayer overhead, and exhale, let them come down to heart center. Inhaling your arms up and overhead, exhale, let those palms come down to the floor. Inhale, palms up, pull in the beautiful energy, capturing it at the top and bringing it down towards your heart center. Taking any of your bad vibrations out as the hands go overhead, exhale and let that energy release itself. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, down through heart center. Last time. Inhale, up. Wide fingertips. Inhaling your hands overhead, and exhaling, coming over towards the right side. Crossing your left hand over, placing it down on that front right knee. Bringing your gaze all the way back behind you. With an inhale, finding length and height through the spine, and an exhale, softly twisting through. Inhaling for height, and softening. With your next inhale, slowly bringing those arms up and overhead, finding length through the shoulders. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, hands up and overhead. And exhale, opposite twist. Left hand behind you, right hand to your left knee. Squeezing those shoulder blades back, finding that nice tall spine. Exhaling and twisting. With your next inhale, slowly bring those hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor right in front of your legs. And then exhale, slowly walk yourself forward. Envisioning keeping a tall, long spine from tailbone all the way up to the tip of your head. Allowing your lower back, your belt line, all to release and soften first. When you're ready, you can exhale and take this stretch all the way down, possibly onto your elbows or your forearms, rounding the back, dropping the chin in towards the chest, and just allowing the heart to melt forward. Every inhale, you find a little bit of length from that lower back, and the exhale softens you through. Last 2 breaths. Slowly with your inhale, helping yourself back up to the top. We're going to extend those legs straight out in front of you. Giving them a shake and bringing your arms back behind you. Good. Taking the soles of your feet and planting them down on the mat, you're going to exhale your legs over to one side and then inhale them up and over to the opposite. Letting both knees fall to the outside, pulling the soles of the feet in together, bringing your elbows to the inside of your knees and your hands down to your ankles. Inhale and squeeze those shoulders back behind you. Find length through the spine, nice and tall. With your next exhale, softly pushing those elbows into those knees and feeling the resistance come back through. Staying nice and tall. With your next following exhale, wrapping your hands around your toes, dropping your shoulders, and pulling your chest towards the soles of your feet. When you feel like your lower back is finally relaxed and or softened, you can drop your chin in towards your chest, releasing any tension in the back line of the body, and just focusing on your inhale and the exhale. 3 more breaths here. Slowly assisting yourself back up to the top, extending those legs out and in front of you and giving them a nice loving shake. We're going to flip ourselves over onto our hands and our knees, coming into all fours. Rolling yourself over and setting up that foundation. Hands are right beneath your shoulders, knees are right beneath your hips. Coming into our first downward dog, you're going to tuck your toes and push your butt all the way up and into the sky. Cycling through those legs and bringing a little bit of movement into the back line, through the calves, the back of the knee, and the hamstring. Pushing down into those heels, feel that stretch all the way through. Inhaling over your hands. Exhale, take yourself down to the floor. Inhale to a baby cobra. Exhale down, tucking your toes, pushing your weight onto your knees, and then driving your glutes up and into the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and let your heart melt forward to the floor. With your next inhale, coming forward over your hands, exhaling on the way down. Inhale to baby cobra or your full upward dog. Exhaling, bringing yourself down, tucking those toes, pushing through the knees, and coming back to your downward dog. Here we go. Inhale forward, exhale down. Inhale to your version of up dog. Exhale down, tuck those toes, push back into that butt. Good. Slowly, you're going to bring your weight forward, bringing your knees down, and coming into our first child's pose variation. You can have your knees close together or widespread. I want you to take a nice deep inhale, and exhale, soften. Allow your shoulders to soften, for your back to relax. Keep your glutes connected with your heels, and just let your forehead float down to the mat. Taking 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale, slowly bringing your shoulders back on top of your hands, tucking your toes and pushing your butt back up and in towards the sky. Cycle through those legs. Notice how they're starting to feel softer, feeling a little bit more awake. You're going to go ahead and push down through both heels. Inhale, your shoulders over your hands. Exhale down. Inhale to your baby cobra or your full upward dog. Exhale, tucking your toes, sending those hips sky high. Coming into our single leg low lunge. Right leg goes back up behind you. Inhale, bring that foot all the way in front, placing that front foot in between your hands. With an inhale, placing your hands on that front thigh and bringing yourself all the way upright. Nice tall back, engaged core. Put a smile on that face and breathe. Sinking that front left hip flexor down and into the mat. Finding softness within this pose and utilizing your breath. If you'd like to make a progression here, you can take your left hand up and overhead. We have 2 more breaths remaining. With your exhale, you're going to bring your hands down to the floor. You're going to keep your toes of that front foot down, and you're going to slightly push your weight back into that hip. Keeping your toes down, allowing the leg to stretch here, staying here for 1 single breath. With your inhale, coming all the way forward, letting that hamstring soften once again. And with your exhale, peeling the toes off of the floor, rocking back on the heel, and going into whatever variation of a back hamstring stretch you can go to. Being very mindful and listening to your body. Utilize your inhale and your exhale. Enjoy 1 more breath here. And then slowly bringing yourself back forward. Bringing both hands to the inside of that leg and sweeping that leg all the way back to the bottom of your mat. Down to child's pose for a quick moment. And with your next inhale, coming forward, shoulders over your hands, tucking your toes, butt goes up and in towards the sky. Cycle through those legs. And with your next inhale, coming forward, exhaling down to the mat, inhaling to your version of your upward dog. Exhaling down, tucking those toes, hips to the sky. And what we do to one side, we must do to the other. Inhale that left leg up behind you and bring it all the way in and through. Planting that front foot at the top of your mat. Inhaling your hands up and onto that front thigh. Squeeze your shoulders back. Nice tall spine, keeping your chin level with the floor. Again, if you'd like to make a progression here, you can take your right hand up and overhead, sitting in this pose for 2 more breaths. With your exhale, bringing those hands back down to the mat, slowly walking yourself back, keeping those toes on the floor. Let the stretch travel wherever it needs to. With your inhale, coming forward, letting that hamstring soften. And with your exhale, going back, but this time letting your toes come up and off of the floor. Again, listening to your body. One side will be different than the other. Not better, not worse, but just different. Try not to hold on to what you did yesterday, and try not to set too many intentions for tomorrow. With your next inhale, coming back up, hands into the center, and let that left leg float all the way back down. Coming into your resting child's pose. Folding yourself back, extending those hands straight out in front of you. With your next inhale, bringing your hands forward, shoulders over your hands, tucking your toes, coming into your high bridge. Exhaling all the way down. Inhale to your baby cobra or your upward dog. Exhaling down, tucking your toes, pushing your butt all the way up and into the sky. Here comes a progression. That right leg goes up and into the sky behind you. Inhale and bring that right foot to the top of your mat. Drop your rear foot so that it's completely parallel to the back edge of your mat. Inhaling your hands up, coming into your first Warrior 2 pose. Your front knee is dialing outwards. That knee does not fall in towards the middle. Shoulders squeeze back behind you, nice tall spine, and pull in on that belly button. With an inhale, the front hand comes up towards the ceiling. The back hand goes down to the hamstring or the shin. Sitting here for a breath. And with your exhale, coming forward to your Warrior 2. Sitting there for a moment, finding strength and finding intention. With your exhale, shifting your weight back, straightening that front leg, tilting yourself forward, bringing that front hand to your shin, your knee, your ankle, or even to the floor. With your next inhale, bending that front knee, inhaling your hands up, sitting in the center, Warrior 2. With your next inhale, back into reverse, front hand up, back hand down. And with your exhale, shifting that weight into the back leg, straightening the front leg, bringing that hand down. Inhaling, coming all the way up and going straight into reverse. Front hand comes up, back hand all the way down. Sit here for 2 breaths. With your exhale, bringing that front right elbow down to that front right thigh. Inhaling your left hand all the way down and bringing it up over your shoulder. Nice long body from fingertip all the way down to the bottom of the heel. With your exhale, bring your left hand down, uncross your right hand, bringing yourself back down to your low lunge. Sweep that right leg all the way back behind you and come back to your child's pose. With your next inhale, shifting your weight forward, shoulders over your hands, tucking the toes, high bridge. With an exhale, coming down. Inhale, baby cobra or full upward dog. Exhale, down, tucking your toes, sending those hips sky high. Sitting here for a moment, recognizing the difference between one side of the body and the other. When you're ready, inhaling that left leg all the way up behind you, bringing it all the way through, planting it right in between the hands. Letting that rear foot drop so that it's completely parallel to the back of the floor. Inhaling your hands up and coming into your version of Warrior 2. Keeping a nice long spine, shoulders back behind you. That front knee is dialing out. With an inhale, the front hand comes up. The rear hand goes back behind you, looking through those fingertips and pulling in that energy. With your exhale, coming down to your Warrior 2, sitting here for 2 breaths. With an exhale, shifting your weight into the back leg, straightening the front leg, bringing that front hand down to your shin, your ankle, or the floor. Inhaling your gaze up towards the ceiling, and again, pulling in that beautiful energy. With your next inhale, bending that front knee, coming all the way up, Warrior 2, sitting here for a breath. With your next inhale, coming up into reverse, that back hand goes down the back leg. Nice tall spine, breathe that energy in. And with an exhale, down to Warrior 2, sit there for 2 breaths. With your exhale, straightening that front leg, bringing that left hand down to the shin, the ankle, or the floor. Again, spreading those fingers apart, pulling in that energy. With an inhale, coming all the way up and going straight to reverse. Hand comes up towards the ceiling, your rear hand goes back down behind you. With an exhale, skipping Warrior 2 and bringing that left elbow down to your left thigh. Inhaling your right hand all the way up. Nice long body from tip of the finger all the way down to the bottom of the heel. With your next exhale, bringing that right hand down, bringing your left hand down to the inside of that leg, dropping your hip and bringing that left leg all the way back behind you. Sitting down into your child's pose, extending those hands straight out overhead, letting those shoulders soften. Good. With an inhale, coming forward, shoulders over your hands, tucking your toes, coming into your high bridge. Exhale, down to baby cobra or your version of upward dog. Exhaling all the way forward, pushing yourself back to child's pose. Adjusting your child's pose here. You can make it wide child's pose, narrow, or you can do your eggshell child's pose. That would be bringing your hands back behind you and just resting forward here on your mat. Staying in whatever variation of child's pose you'd like to for 2 more breaths. With your inhale, coming all the way forward, rolling yourself over and finding a sitting position. Extending your legs straight out in front of you. Removing the soft squishy stuff from underneath your sit bones and trying to sit as tall as you can. Pushing out through those heels and pulling back on your toes. Squeeze those shoulder blades back together and find height. Exhale and round forward, dropping your chin towards your chest and just letting gravity do the work for you. Do not stretch on this one. This is just a warm-up. Allow your body to sit wherever it finds comfortable. 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, pressing your hands into your shins, inhaling your shoulders back, nice long spine, feel your back activate. Inhaling the hands overhead, exhale all the way forward fold. allowing your breath to once again take guide. Every inhale finding that length through the spine, and every exhale finding a way to soften. Relaxing the shoulders, unclenching the jaw, releasing your eyebrows from being pinched together, softening the stomach and the rib cage. Maybe give those toes a wiggle so that the backs of the legs soften. With your next exhale, slowly coming back up to the top, giving those legs a loving shake. Pulling one leg in towards the thigh, keeping the other leg extended. The leg that is being brought in, place your hand on top of it. So matching arm to matching leg. You're going to inhale, up, and then exhale forward for the foot that's extended. Dropping your head straight down, looking straight past your knees. Nice long back, and keep the shoulder away from the ear. When and if you're ready, you can bring the opposite hand over to the wrist, dropping your head in between your biceps and just letting the body soften. With your next inhale, slowly coming back up to the top, extending the leg and giving them both a shake. Inhaling the opposite leg up and in towards the thigh, placing that same hand on that outside knee, inhaling the opposite hand overhead, and exhaling all the way forward down to whatever foot is out in front of you. When and if you're ready, you can bring the opposite hand over to the same wrist, letting that stretch go all the way through the side back, low back, and making sure that you're letting your shoulders stay away from your ears. With your next following exhale, you can softly release the stretch, extending that leg straight out in front of you and giving them both a shake. Bringing your hands back behind you, soles of your feet are on your mat. With an exhale, drop your knees to one side and then bring them back up and over to the other. Letting both your knees drop open to the side, bring a little bit of movement into them just like they were butterfly wings. When you're ready, allowing yourself to lie down on your mat. Extending your legs straight out in front of you. Placing your hands on the floor, palms up. Squeezing your shoulder blades together and finding a comfortable lying space on your mat. Giving your body the opportunity to completely relax, rest, and reset. Acknowledging any and all thoughts you have going through your mind. Taking a nice deep inhale, and exhale, let them go. Allowing your breath to guide you. Just relaxing and softening. Taking this opportunity to say thank you to your body for completing the work that it so graciously does every day. With an inhale, taking your arms up and overhead and letting them lie flat on the mat. With an inhale, stretching from tip to toe. Stretch, 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 and exhale, soften. Inhale and stretch. Exhale, soften. Last time, biggest one yet. Inhale, stretch, 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 and exhale. Bringing your knees into your chest and wrapping your arms around your knees, giving yourself a hug. You can rock side to side or front to back, whatever works best for you. When you're done, coming back to sitting in easy pose, crossing your legs, or just finding a comfortable space for you to sit in. Keeping your eyes soft or closed. Inhaling your hands up and overhead. Exhale down through heart center and prayer. Squeezing your shoulders back together, taking a nice deep inhale. Exhale, soften. 3 Ohms. Inhale. I see the light, the energy, and absolutely radiating beauty from within. Thank you for trusting me with your yoga practice this morning. Namaste. Alright, peeps. That's what we got for today. I hope that brought you a little bit of peace and bliss. And I hope that you guys also enjoyed my new setup. With that being said, have yourself a great freaking week, and I will see you guys tomorrow.